Order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Senators Bridges, Buckner, Coleman, Cook, Coram,
Good morning.
Danielson,
Good morning.
Donovan, Fields, Gardner, Janal, Gonzalez, Hanson, Henriksen, Heisey, Heisey,
Excused.
Pulbert, Huckes Lewis, Kirkmeyer, Kolker, Lee, Liston, Lundin, Moreno, Pedersen, Priola, Rankin, Rodriguez, Scott,
Here.
Simpson, Smallwood, Sonnenberg, Story,
Here.
Winter, Woodward, Zenzinger.
Here.
Mr. President,
Here. The morning roll call is 34 present, 0 absent, 1 excused. We have a quorum. Will the good senator from Arapahoe County please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Colleagues, please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate Journal for Thursday, April 28th, 2022 be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that motion is adopted. Senate Services.
April 29, 2022, correctly printed Senate Bill 235, 236, and 237. Correctly engrossed Senate Bill 177, 200, 213, 223, 228, and 229. Correctly re-engrossed Senate Bill 155, 198, 204, and 218. Correctly revised House Bill 1083, 1133, 1282, 1309, 1344, 1347, 1356, 1360, and 1379. Correctly re-revised House Bill 1003, 1212, 1234, and 1306.
Committee reports.
April 28, 2022, the Committee on Health and Human Services, after consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1246 be referred favorably to the Committee on Finance.
Majority Leader Moreno.
April 28, 2022, Committee on Judiciary, after consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1326 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation, and Senate Bill 231 be postponed indefinitely.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate proceed out of order for a moment of personal privilege by the senator from Aurora.
The motion is to proceed out of order for a moment of personal privilege. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. We will proceed out of order. Senator Buckner.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am so proud today to provide a tribute. Oh, I asked for a moment of personal privilege. I am sorry.
Always for you.
Personal privilege.
Granted.
It is my honor today to provide this tribute for an amazing woman. I am extending heartfelt congratulations and commendation to Bessie Coleman. Bessie Coleman was born in 1892. She was the first African American woman and first Native American woman to hold a pilot's license. She was the first Black person to earn an international pilot's license because in the United States, she was not allowed to go to aviation school. So she saved her money because she loved aviation. She saved her money and earned sponsorships to go to France, to go to aviation school in France. What an accomplishment to learn French and then to go to aviation school in France. She came back to the United States and she was known as a high-profile pilot. She did notoriously dangerous air shows in the United States. She was a true phenomenon. Unfortunately, during one of her aeronautic shows, when she was doing dangerous feats, in 1926, she died in a plane crash. Unfortunately, she didn't live long enough to establish a school for Black aviators. That was her goal, because she wanted to overcome racial bias and injustices. In 1995, a Black Heritage stamp was issued for Bessie Coleman. Today, I want to recognize also the founder of the Fly Girls and Boys Denver chapter, Jacqueline Withers. Jacqueline decided to start this organization to encourage young Black girls and Black boys to fly. And she is uplifted by Coleman's story as an inspiration for everyone to fight through any challenges that life throws at you. The Fly Girls and Boys Bessie Coleman Denver chapter of Take Flight Leadership Aviation, they are here today. This is an organization that helps teach leadership and aviation skills to teens. The history of Bessie Coleman inspires students to become pilots and enter the aviation industry. So I would like to acknowledge Bessie Coleman's legacy and Ms. Withers for having this foresight to organize these young, beautiful Black young women and men to become aviators. So thank you, Ms. Withers, for having that inspiration and never giving up. And I'm so proud to do this tribute for you. So I would love for these young students to stand up and be recognized. And I also have some other friends who came today in a show of support. Dr. Faye Risen, who many of you know, she is a well-known advocate for education and for politics, and she is well-known in Denver, has always been supportive of me, Senator Fields, and Senator Coleman, and Senator Herod. And Dr. Risen, thanks for being here today. And we also have another friend of mine who has come today, Peggy Wortham, is a former educator in Colorado as well. And I want to also ask the others who have come in a show of support for Bessie Coleman Day to stand up as well. I'm hoping that we can keep Bessie Coleman's legacy and recognize her excellence as a community role model, not just today, but every day. And we know that she served as an exemplar of barrier breaking for women and people of color. I'm so proud to give you this tribute today.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. Good morning. I would like to request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you. It's always an honor to see the icons that we have here in the Senate chambers. We have some folks here that have already been recognized and introduced that are known in our community as trailblazers to make sure that we don't have any hidden figures in our community that deserves the recognition that they sorely deserve. So I just want to add on to the comments that the senator made about the importance of the recognition that we're making today. And it's about believing in yourself. Bessie Coleman was someone who was denied the privilege to learn how to fly in the United States. And as I see these young women and men here today, I'm going to tell you that today you can fly. I'm quite sure with the leadership that you're getting right now and the program that you're experiencing right now, you're already on your pathway to being a pilot. So I believe that you can fly. And so did Coleman believe that she could be a pilot as well. And she followed through on her dreams, even though it was difficult. So even though it's difficult when you have a dream that no one else believes in, she believed in herself and she believed in her ability to fly, and she made sure that happened. And what we're doing right now in this year, in this term, is an opportunity for young people to experience their ability to grow and to fly and to learn. So thank you so very much for the work you do.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate proceed out of order for consideration of Senate Joint Resolution 13.
The motion is to proceed out of order for consideration of resolutions. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. We will proceed out of order. Will the clerk please add Senator Heisey to the roll? Will the clerk please read the title of Senate Joint Resolution 13?
Senate Joint Resolution 13, Senators Rodriguez and Representatives Garnett, concerning celebrating the University of Denver Pioneers men's ice hockey team's 2022 NCAA championship win.
Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Resolution 13 and ask that it be read at length.
Will the clerk please read Senate Joint Resolution 13 at length?
Senate Joint Resolution 13, Senator Rodriguez and Representative Garnett, concerning celebrating the University of Denver Pioneers men's ice hockey team's 2022 NCAA championship win. Whereas the University of Denver Pioneers men's ice hockey team has been competing since 1949, and whereas the Pioneers are members of the National Collegiate Athletic Association, the NCAA Division I, and whereas the Pioneers are now tied with Michigan for the most NCAA National Men's Ice Hockey Championships at 9 titles, and whereas the Pioneers have won 15 regular season conference championships and 14 conference playoff championships, and whereas 75 Pioneers have gone on to play in the National Hockey League, NHL, and whereas 2 Pioneers have been recognized as the best player in collegiate hockey with the prestigious Hobey Baker Award, which is an annual award given to the top NCAA men's ice hockey player, and whereas on Saturday, April 9, 2022, the Pioneers added their 9th national title to their already stellar record, triumphing over Minnesota State by a score of 5-1, and whereas the Pioneers have demonstrated their winning values both on and off the ice as they participate in community building efforts and always aspire to a service above self attitude, a primary tenet of their team's vision statement, and whereas it is fitting that we acknowledge the hard work and successes of the University of Denver Pioneers men's ice hockey team and celebrate their 2022 NCAA championship win, and whereas this win brings great honor and recognition to the University of Denver and the state of Colorado, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate of the 73rd General Assembly of the state of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the members of the Colorado General Assembly, honor the University of Denver Pioneers men's ice hockey team for their victory in the 2022 NCAA National Championship and celebrate their many achievements as a Division I collegiate team. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to Dr. Jeremy Hafner, Chancellor of the University of Denver, and Michael Weissman, Associate Commissioner of the National Collegiate Hockey Conference.
Thank you.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, thank you, colleagues. You can please be seated. It's my privilege to bring forth this resolution honoring the University of Denver's men's ice hockey team. They have done an excellent job representing the university, the state of Colorado, and of course, Senate District 32. The men's hockey team has produced too many first and second team All-Americans and all conference selections to list here. This year, one of their players, Bobby Brink, was in the top 3 players nominated for the Hobey Baker Award, honoring the nation's best collegiate hockey player, and he should have won. This year, their record in Division I hockey was 31-9 and 1 in attendance at 31-9 and 1 and attendance at Magnus Arena in the season was close to 100,000 people. At the time he was hired, Coach Carl was the youngest Division I ice hockey coach at age 28, and some would say he's still a kid at 32. At least I would. But it's a good number because it matches the Senate district. This ice hockey program continues to produce student athletes who become highly successful players in the NHL. In fact, 12 of the players on this year's team have already been drafted, so we will have an opportunity to continue to see them play, and some of them may even end up back here in Colorado to hoist the Stanley Cup. Right, Mr. Minority Leader? Amen. The DU's men's ice hockey team represents all that is good about young people in Colorado. They always play hard, and they demonstrate what can happen when people work together as a team. Their example is one we should all strive to copy, and I urge you to vote in favor of this resolution. I'd like to acknowledge head coach David Carl, Captain Cole Gutman, co-captains Bobby Brink, Justin Lee, and Ryan Barrow, and most outstanding player of the Frozen Four, Mike Benning. So, thank you, colleagues. We also have put this on a nice plaque to give to them upon passage of this resolution.
Minority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. Request a moment of personal privilege.
We're on a resolution.
I'm not sure that's
Excuse me.
in order. Minority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. Gentlemen, congratulations. It was so thrilling to listen to the game on the radio. I'd been in Colorado Springs helping my sons build a fence that day, and I was exhausted. And it was hard driving north on I-25 when it was 1-0. But man, was it exciting when I heard the final score. 9 national titles. I talked about it here in the well that day. so many of my colleagues follow basketball or football or other sports, but hockey's my sport. 5th grade, Lake Otis Elementary School, Anchorage, Alaska, left wing. That's where my career ended. But hockey is my sport, and I'm so happy and so excited for you. I also had the opportunity, I think 4 days after you won your 9th national title, to note that our Colorado Avalanche racked up 9 against the LA Kings, and I said they did that because you won your 9th national title. I'm so excited for you. Back in the 80s, my career took me to the arena almost every home game. I worked for a car dealership, and we had a sponsored puck shoot where I'd take the car to the arena, and the Zamboni crew would put it out on center ice, and then somebody would come out of the stands and get 2 or 3 chances at a little gap and a piece of plywood in front of the goal. And night after night, I'd take the car over there, and of course, nobody would get anywhere close to it. And people would laugh and say, "Oh, I bet you're relieved they didn't win that car." I was like, "No, we're paying for insurance. I want them to win the car." And then one night, somebody finally put it in the goal. And it was so fun. So I've been a DU Pioneer fan for decades. That's back in the 80s, and I imagine most of you weren't around back then. But I just want to say, as a hockey fan my whole life, congratulations and thank you for bringing another championship to Colorado, to Metro Denver, and go DU!
Members, that was pathetic. Let's say go DU with some heart and soul. Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. My request a brief moment of personal privilege.
Denied. Senator Henriksen, we're on a resolution, so you don't need to request to be able to speak to it.
Thank you, Mr. President. So Minority Leader Holbert, we might be the only other family who has that same passion, and it is super exciting to see my son inherit that passion as well. I played hockey all through high school. I went to Northern Michigan University where I met my wife. We're huge Northern Michigan Wildcat fans. The Northern Michigan Wildcats have two rivals, Michigan Tech and the University of Michigan. And the University of Michigan was defeated by the Denver Pioneers in the semifinals of the national championship this year. I got home from some business I was taking care of, and my wife and son were watching the end of the game, and my son is cheering loudly for the Denver Pioneers. I asked my wife, "What is going on?" And she said, "The enemy of my enemy is always my friend." We're teaching our son foreign policy. And so, gentlemen, thank you again and congratulations.
Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. As a Notre Dame grad, I'm going to ask for a no vote on this resolution. No, clearly not. Because what trumps being a Notre Dame grad is being a hockey fan. I, too, am one of those lucky folks who got to grow up in the hockey family. And there is nothing quite like hockey. My husband, who had never seen a game before he married me just a couple years ago, so had spent 3 decades on this earth without seeing that puck fly around on the ice. I took him to one game, and he started sending me the schedules of every local hockey game that we could go to shortly after that. So we turned him to the right side. But I have to share, gentlemen, with you and all the people that have supported you guys reaching this highest level in the nation. It was so fun being out that night. We went out to watch the game at my husband's request, and it was so fun walking into the bar with the score being a certain number, and then feeling the energy of not only the room, but the street and the city and the state change as you guys just did some remarkable work on the ice, and your goalies did some remarkable work in the net. So on behalf of what has been a really couple tough years, please know that the pride that you guys feel of carrying around that trophy and the pride that you brought to DU of getting a national championship, you also brought joy to so many people that night. And that's the power of sports, right? That's what's really special about it. So cherish these moments. Holy cow. Remember this time. Remember this silly little thing that you got to do on the state senate, but know that the efforts that you guys have done since you probably could skate before I could walk. You guys are probably all tripods, right? Tripods. Yep. You could probably skate before you could walk, and know that all that work just resulted in hoots and hollers and smiles and high fives from strangers that you will never know that appreciated your grace and athleticism on the ice. Good job, gentlemen.
The motion is the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 13. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Joint Resolution 13 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors to Senate Joint Resolution 13. Members, we will stand in a brief recess to greet our guests.
Yeah, we're going to go, Kemba.
Senate will come back to order. Message from the House.
April 29, 2022, the House has adopted and transmits herewith House Joint Resolution 1018 as printed in House Journal, April 29, 2022.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate proceed out of order for introduction and consideration of resolutions.
The motion is to proceed out of order for introduction and consideration of resolutions. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and that motion is adopted. We will proceed out of order. Introduction and consideration of resolutions. Will the clerk please read the title of House Joint Resolution 1018?
House Joint Resolution 1018, Representative Van Beber, Senator Sonnenberg, concerning designating the portion of Colorado State Highway 14 from mile marker 153 to mile marker 154 in Weld County as the Colonel Stan Cass Memorial Highway.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you so much for not sending one of my pieces to State Affairs. I appreciate it. Mr. President, I move House Joint Resolution 1018. Ask that it be read at length.
Will the clerk please read House Joint Resolution 1018 at length?
House Joint Resolution 1018 by Representative Van Beber and Senator Sonnenberg concerning designating the portion of Colorado State Highway 14 from mile marker 153 to mile marker 154 in Weld County is the Colonel Stan Cass Memorial Highway. Whereas United States Army Colonel Stan Cass was born in Brigsdale, Colorado on July 29, 1933, and whereas Stan Cass attended Brigsdale High School and worked on his family's farm until he graduated and applied to the United States Military Academy at West Point, and whereas he was accepted to West Point after taking classes at what is now Colorado State University, but at the time was known as the Colorado State College of Agriculture and Mechanic Arts, and whereas after graduating from West Point in 1957, Colonel Cass was first stationed in France and Germany, but was later transferred to Vietnam in 1966 to command a helicopter unit in the Vietnam War. And whereas it was in Vietnam in 1972 where he met his future wife Cecily, who was working for the Central Intelligence Agency at the time, whereas they weren't able to marry until years later after Cecily was transferred to Italy and Colonel Cass returned to the United States to work for the Pentagon, where he developed the first Hellfire air-to-surface missile, which is still the primary missile system used by United States military helicopters today. And whereas in 1986, Colonel Cass retired from the armed services so that he and Cecily could move back to Weld County to tend the family farm when his father was no longer able to, and whereas Stan Cass, all while continuing to preserve the land his family had cultivated for decades, began serving his fellow veterans first by offering his own money to the Weld County Veterans Memorial when it appeared that it wouldn't be completed, and then by helping to form the Honor Flight Northern Colorado program in 2008. And whereas Honor Flight Northern Colorado, a nonprofit volunteer organization, flies veterans of World War II, terminally ill veterans, Purple Heart recipients, and veterans of the Korean and Vietnam Wars from all over the United States to Washington, D.C., so they can visit the World War II memorial there. And whereas through his passion to serve his fellow veterans, Stan Cass helped over 1,500 veterans make the pilgrimage to the World War II memorial through the Honor Flight Northern Colorado program, which continues to this day. And whereas Stan Cass will always be remembered for his quick smile, his commanding presence, his military precision, and his generous spirit that he devoted to his family, his country, and his fellow veterans. Now therefore be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 73rd General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the Senate concurring herein, 1, that the portion of Colorado State Highway 14 in Weld County from mile marker 153 to mile marker 154 be designated as the Colonel Stan Cass Memorial Highway. 2, that the Colorado Department of Transportation may accept and expend gifts, grants, and donations for the purpose of the initial placement of signs to mark Colorado State Highway 14 in Weld County from mile marker 153 to mile marker 154 is the Colonel Stan Cass Memorial Highway. 3, that the Colorado Department of Transportation may explore a cooperative agreement with the Board of County Commissioners for Weld County for the maintenance of the signs marking the Colonel Stan Cass Memorial Highway. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to the family of Stan Cass, Alt Mayor Rob Petrowski, and the Alt Board of Trustees, the Weld County Board of County Commissioners, and the West Greeley Conservation District.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please be seated. You know, it's an honor to bring this resolution before you, and we should probably do more than just name part of a highway after this hero. And I tell you that because here is a gentleman that came from a very small community. I don't know how many were in his class when he graduated, but typically those small schools, and Briggsdale hasn't grown much, except it gets much of the other students maybe from Alt and Greeley and Eaton and those places that would rather go to that small personalized school. I don't know how many were in his class, but I'm guessing 2 or 3, 6. Thanks, Cecilia. 6 people in his class. And then he goes to West Point. That's impressive to begin with. It's also interesting, and one of these days, maybe I'll learn the story, because he met his wife while he was at Vietnam, and she was with the CIA. I don't know how those two got together and under what circumstances. I'm not sure I want to know, and maybe I'm not allowed to know, or you'd have to kill me. But someday that would be an interesting story. Here's another thing that he did that's impressive. And I don't know if you heard it or read it in the resolution. I'm trying to find it. The Hellfire air-to-surface missiles, which they still use today. He developed that. That's his baby when he went to work at the Pentagon. And then I don't know what he was thinking, but at age 53, he went back to the farm. Probably because agriculture is a great place, and Briggsdale and rural Colorado is a great place to live. But he wasn't done. Here's where he became a hero. He and Bill and several people put together the Honor Flight Northern Colorado program, in which they took disabled veterans, World War II veterans, flew them to DC, took care of them, put these trips together to honor these people. He didn't have to do that. Instead of staying home and just playing in the dirt and farming, he wanted to continue to be active in his community. He wanted to be active with his Veterans of Foreign Wars post, and continued to do that until he passed on in 2018, I believe it was. With that said, Mr. President, I am honored to be up here to celebrate with our friends from Briggsdale in the honor of the occasion of our hero, Colonel Cass. With that, I'd ask for your aye vote.
Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, colleagues. I just wanted to say a few words about Colonel Cass. I knew him as Stan, and I believe his family's in the chamber today. His daughter Sarah is a dear, dear friend of mine, and his daughter Corey was a dear, dear friend of my brothers growing up. We knew the family really well, and if Cicely's there, I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, Mrs. Cass, but you know, we're so proud of what you're doing today, and obviously proud of Stan. And it's just really nice that the state legislature is honoring someone from my hometown, Alt, Colorado. And, you know, he was a key member of the community for a really long time. It's just really nice to be with you here today, even though I'm remote with my little one. thank you to the United Veterans Committee also for helping to see this through. Shelley Kalkowski knew Colonel Cass and his achievements, and we finally made the connection years ago when I was working on other legislation that I knew Stan. And you know, we're all proud of what he did, and proud of the honor flight and the other things that my colleague from Sterling mentioned. So I just wanted to say a few words from a personal perspective of those who really knew him. To be here in the legislature today with his family is a privilege for us, and I thank you for your time and for your attention today. And it's an honor to support the measure. Thank you.
Senator Rankin.
Well, I try not to ever miss an opportunity to thank my fellow Vietnam era vets. So thank you again, and thanks for the VFW for all you've done for vets returning. They gave me a pin this morning, so it's welcome home, Vietnam vets. So always, and I'll tell you, if you want to develop respect for 20-year-old helicopter pilots, try hanging on to not fall out of a Huey in the middle of the night. So, you know, I talked to some helicopter pilots over here today. So thank you for all you did, and welcome home once again. And to the Colonel, you know, my respects. Didn't know him personally, but this is well-deserved, I'm sure.
Senator Kirkmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too would like to rise and let everyone know that I knew Stan Cass as well. He was a great member of our community, of the greater Weld County community. And even though I lived in the very southwest corner of Weld County, because of Stan's involvement in the Republican Party and in government, we all got to know him very well. In fact, I met him in 1992 when I was running for county commissioner, because a good friend of mine, George Baxter, was running for county commissioner, and they were really good friends. And George Baxter at the County Assembly got up and sang for his speech when he was running for county commissioner. And I remember Stan Cass coming up to me and asking me, Stan came up and he's like, "Are you going to get up and sing too?" And I thought, hell no, I'm not doing that. But anyways, Stan was very involved. In fact, I think he was involved in helping with the Home Rule Charter in Weld County. And he also was, for all of you to know, this is how active he was in the community. He was past mayor of Alt. He was very active in the Community Foundation, the Legacy Land Trust, the Colorado State University Beef Club, and the West Greeley Conservation District. He was active in the Mason and the Shriner and the Occident Lodge number 20 member, AF and AM, and was past master 3 times. He was president of the Colorado Tillage Association and was president of the Alt-Serratoma Club, as well as district governor of the 3-state area. He was also awarded the 9 News Who Cares Award and the Valued Veteran of the Year by the Moose Lodge number 909. Stan was definitely a pillar in our community. We all knew him. He was a great guy, and I'm just happy that I get to vote on this resolution and support Stan.
The motion is the adoption of House Joint Resolution 1018. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Joint Resolution 1018 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors for this resolution honoring this hero and icon from Weld County.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors on House Joint Resolution 1018. We will, Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before you take a break to greet our guests, let me tell you who they are over there. Of course, we have Miss Cass. Cecily is Colonel Cass's wife, and then we have Rick Malachi and He's the commander of VFW Post 4334. Go ahead and stand up as I say your name so they know who you are. Tom and Susie Roberts are also with VFW Post 4334. Tom is the junior vice commander and the originator of the post. Susie is the auxiliary post 4334. And then Bill Martin is the PAO of the VFW Post 4334. And then, of course, we have Bill and Cheryl Brewster and Lee and Becky Seward, who are part of the Colorado Honor Flight and were part of the development of that program. Members, please help me welcome all of them to the chamber.
The Senate will stand in a brief recess to greet our guests. Senate will come to order. Will the clerk please excuse Senator Zenzinger from the roll? Committee reports.
April 29, 2022, the Committee on Appropriations, after consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: House Bill 1055 be referred to the Committee of the Whole. Favorable recommendation. House Bill 1067 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole. Favorable recommendation. House Bill 1114 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. House Bill 1316 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. House Bill 1351 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 70 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 81 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Senate Bill 163 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 196 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with a recommendation it be placed on the consent calendar. Senate Bill 199 be amended as follows, as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 211 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 216 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 219 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Senate Bill 220 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Senate Bill 222 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Senate Bill 224 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Senate Bill 227 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with a recommendation that be placed on the consent calendar. Senate Bill 30 be amended as follows, and as so amended, be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, you will see on your printed calendar today, House Bill 1301, which is on special orders, which was laid over from yesterday. We will be adding House Bill 1301 to a special orders calendar later today, so we will not be hearing it next, and we'll be moving directly into third reading.
Third reading of bills, final passage, consent calendar. Will the clerk please read all of the titles on the third reading of bills consent calendar?
Senate Bill 229, Senators Story and Hawkes Lewis, Representatives Burnett and Gray, concerning conditions under which a public trustee shall release a deed of trust. House Bill 1309, Representative Froelich, Senators Winter and Hawkes Lewis, concerning the authority of a hospital to dispense a 7-day supply of drugs to a victim of sexual assault in order to treat sexually transmitted infections. House Bill 1344, Representatives Neville and Ortiz, Senators Cook and Janal, concerning the lawful use of a prescription drug that contains 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine, MDMA, that is approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration. House Bill 1360 by Representatives Satone and Baisley, Senator Colker, concerning authorizing the Department of Human Services to retain a percentage of the federal child support incentive payments the state provides. House Bill 1083, Representatives Tipper and Rich, Senators Winter and Simpson, concerning the creation of the Colorado Homeless Contribution Income Tax Credit and in connection therewith making an appropriation. House Bill 1356 by Representatives Harrod and Hooton, Senators Gonzalez and Rankin, concerning the creation of the Small Community-Based Nonprofit Infrastructure Grant Program to provide assistance to nonprofit organizations that have been economically impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and in connection therewith making an appropriation. House Bill 1379 by Representatives McCormick and Catlin, Senators Donovan and Simpson, concerning transfers from the Economic Recovery and Relief Cash Fund to provide additional funding for the management of certain natural resources and in connection therewith making an appropriation. Senate Bill 177 by Senators Patterson and Rankin, Representatives Satone and Bradfield, concerning behavioral health system investments in the statewide care coordination infrastructure and in connection therewith making an appropriation. Senate Bill 200, Senators Janal and Rankin, Representatives Soper and McCluskey, concerning a grant program to improve access to health care in rural communities. Senate Bill 213 by Senators Fields and Sonnenberg, Representatives Valdez A. and Tipper, concerning continuing support for necessary child care programs and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, there's been a request to remove House Bill 1083 from the third reading consent calendar. That will be added to the bottom of the regular third reading calendar for today. With that, Mr. President, I move for the passage of the remaining bills on the third reading consent calendar, which includes Senate Bill 229, House Bill 1309, House Bill 1344, House Bill 1360, House Bill 1356, House Bill 1379, Senate Bill 177, Senate Bill 200, and Senate Bill 213.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills? Seeing none, The motion is the passage of all of the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes on any of the bills? Minority Leader Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do not request a moment of personal privilege, but I do request to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360, 1356, Senate Bill 177, and Senate Bill 200.
The Minority Leader will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360, House Bill 1356, Senate Bill 200, and Senate Bill 177. Senator Cook.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request to be a no vote on House Bill 1360.
Senator Cook will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360. Senator Lundeen.
Good morning again, Mr. President. I request to be recorded as a no vote on the following bills: House Bill 1360, House Bill 1356, Senate Bill 177, Senate Bill 213, and Senate Bill 200.
Senator Lundeen will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360, House Bill 1356, and Senate Bills 177, 213, and 200. Senator Smallwood.
Thank you, Mr. President. With a much less controversial list, I would like to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360 and Senate Bill 200.
Senator Smallwood will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360 and Senate Bill 200. Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. And before you ask who am I and what I do with the real Senator Sonnenberg, I only asked to be a no vote on 1360.
Senator Sonnenberg will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360. Senator Priola.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too would like to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360.
Senator Priola agrees with Senator Sonnenberg and will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. We might as well make it a double hat trick. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360. Yeah, I think so.
Senator Liston will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360.
And on Senate Bill 177.
And as a bonus, Senator Liston will be recorded as a no vote on Senate Bill 177. Senator Woodward.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on three bills: House Bill 1360, 1356, Senate Bill 200.
Senator Woodward will be recorded as a no vote on House Bills 1360, 1356, and Senate Bill 200. With a vote of, never mind, Senator Kirkmeyer.
I did. I had to go back and look at my files. Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360 and House Bill 1356. Yeah, they're taking it away from them.
Senator Kirkmeyer will be recorded as a no vote on House Bill 1360 and House Bill 1356. Okay. Now, with a vote of 30... Four, and 0 no's, 0 absent, and 1 excuse, Senate Bill 229 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senate Bill 229. Senators Woodward, with a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no's, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1309 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Hendrickson, Cook, Majority Leader Moreno, Gonzalez, Fields, Rodriguez, Pedersen, Hansen, Kolker, Janal, Buckner, Danielson, Story. Lee. Senator Colker, I've got you. Kirkmeyer. Woodward. Heisey. Rankin. Smallwood. Quorum. Lundin. Gardner. Please add the president. Will the clerk please read the title, sorry. Are we still here? With a vote of, Senator Bridges will be recorded as a co-sponsor on House Bill 1309. Last call. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1344 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Simpson, Jaquez Lewis, Smallwood. Majority Leader Moreno. Colker, Gonzalez, Buckner, Rodriguez, Pedersen, Lee, Rankin. Story. Please have the president. With a vote of 25 ayes, 9 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1360 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Jaquez Lewis. With a vote of 30 ayes, 4 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1356 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Sonnenberg, Jaquez Lewis, Simpson, Gardner, Majority Leader Moreno, Pedersen, Buckner, Lee, Janal, Bridges, Coleman, Liston, Quorum, Danielson, Story, Fields, Donovan. Please add the president. With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1379 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Bridges, Sonnenberg, Jaquez Lewis, Rankin, Lundin, Woodward, Gonzalez, Janal, Buckner, Winter, Pedersen, Rodriguez, Lee, Henriksen, Hansen, Majority Leader Moreno, Quorum, Story, Colker. Please have the president. With a vote of 31 ayes, 3 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 177 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Jaquez Lewis, Henriksen, Majority Leader Moreno, Simpson, Hansen, Colker, Janal, Buckner, Lee, Winter, Story, Quorum, Danielson, Fields. Please add the president. Bridges. With a vote of 30 ayes, 4 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 200 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Henriksen, Jaquez Lewis, Simpson, Heisey, Sonnenberg, Fields, Majority Leader Moreno, Bridges, Rodriguez, Colker, Gonzalez, Pedersen, Buckner, Winter, Quorum, Story, Danielson, Smallwood, Priola, Please add the president. With a vote of 33 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 213 is passed. Co-sponsors: Senators Hansen, Henriksen, Bridges, Jaquez Lewis, Priola, Smallwood, Donovan, Majority Leader Moreno, Gonzalez, Buckner, Lee, Winter, Pedersen, Janal, Kolker, Story, Quorum, Danielson, Coleman. Please add the president. Third reading of bills. Third reading of bills, final passage. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1243?
House Bill 1243, Representatives Exum and Van Winkle, Senators Kolker and Hendrickson, concerning programs that provide funding to improve school safety and in connection therewith, making an appropriation.
Senator Kolker.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. You know.
We can start over if you'd like. Senator Kolker.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm so flustered by everyone voting no on my bill. So, I request permission to offer a third reading amendment.
Oh.
Move the bill for, yes, thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1243 on third reading and final passage, and request permission for a third reading amendment. We're going to make this day longer.
Senator Kolker, will you please explain the need for a third reading amendment?
Yes, it's because, thank you, Mr. President, the good senator, I don't know, I want to say good, but from Carbondale ran an amendment on second reading, and we needed to fix the technical aspect of this bill because we have to appropriate now $6 million to the Department of Public Safety, which was already appropriated, but because we changed it on the second reading from continuously, we have to give ourselves permission to use the money that we've already set aside for this bill. And I ask for an aye vote.
Sorry I asked for an explanation. But the question before the body is Senator Kolker's request for permission to offer a third reading amendment. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes absolutely have it, and permission is granted. Will the clerk please read Amendment L010 to House Bill 1243?
Amendment L010 by Senator Kolker, amend revised.
Senator Kolker.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, we're just making sure that we're allowed to use the money already appropriated. It's a good bill.
Senator Kolker.
Oh, I thought I removed it. I move Amendment 10 to 1243.
Do the amendment.
I already did all that. You get me all flustered here. So, anyway, so we appropriate the money. We're appropriating the $6 million. It's appropriately appropriated. Thank you very much. I'm done.
Is there any discussion? Please, no. Seeing none, the motion is for the adoption of Amendment L10 on House Bill 1243. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, L010 is adopted. To the bill.
You want to talk about the bill?
Senator Rankin.
Thank you, Mr. President. And thanks to the sponsor for addressing the issue of continuous appropriation. I thought we had fixed it in seconds. I apologize for being the cause of a third reading amendment, and I will be a yes vote on the bill. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the passage of House Bill 1243. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1243 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Cook, Jaquez Lewis, Minority Leader Holbert, Kirkmeyer, Woodward, Rankin, Donovan, Majority Leader Moreno, Coleman, Fields, Winter, Rodriguez, Janal, Buckner, Story, Corum, Danielson, Bridges, Heisey, Priola, Hanson, Pedersen, Smallwood, Sonnenberg, Lee. Please add the president. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1133?
House Bill 1133, Representatives Gray and Caraveo, Senator Winter, concerning an advance payment of premiums for state employee family and medical leave insurance coverage from the Revenue Loss Restoration Cash Fund to the Family Medical Leave Insurance Fund for use by the Division of Family Medical Leave Insurance to implement services prescribed under the Paid Family and Medical Leave Insurance Act and in connection therewith reducing an appropriation.
Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for third reading and final passage, House Bill 1133.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1133. Are there any no votes? Senators Sonnenberg, Simpson, Lundin, Gardner, Liston, Rankin, Smallwood, Woodward, Kirkmeyer, Cook, Heisey, Minority Leader Holbert, Corum, Scott, Priola. With a vote of 20 ayes, 14 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1133 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Hanson, Henriksen, Majority Leader Moreno, Pedersen, Donovan, Buckner, Jaquez Lewis, Story, Danielson, Lee, Gonzalez, Fields, Kolker, please add the president. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1347?
House Bill 1347, Representative Doherty and Senator Rodriguez, concerning workers' compensation and in connection therewith increasing funeral benefits, allowing for advanced mileage expense payments, addressing the payment of scheduled ratings, and requiring reporting of certain active medical treatments.
Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1347 and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1347. Are there any no votes? Senators Sonnenberg, Lundin, Gardner, Woodward, Minority Leader Holbert, Scott, Kirkmeyer, Simpson, Heisey, Smallwood, Cook. With a vote, quorum. With a vote of 22 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1347 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Henriksen, Majority Leader Moreno, Lee, Danielson. Gonzalez. Pedersen. Story. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 228?
Senate Bill 228, Senator Rodriguez, Representative Valdez, concerning the requirement that retail establishments accept United States currency.
Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move 228 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 228. Are there any no votes? Senators Priola, Smallwood, Woodward, Rankin, Kirkmeyer, Gardner, Minority Leader Holbert, Lundeen, Scott, Bridges, Liston, with a vote of 23 ayes, 11 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 228 is passed. Co-sponsors. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 223?
Senate Bill 223, Senator Henriksen, Representatives Lindsay and Snyder, concerning the requirement that business licensed to sell motor vehicles have a principal place of business.
Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 223 on third reading and final passage and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 223. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, Senate Bill 223 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators, Majority Leader Moreno. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1282?
House Bill 1282, Representatives Mullican Lynch, Senators Bridges and Woodward, concerning the creation of the Innovative Housing Incentive Program.
Senator Woodward.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1282 on third and final reading and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1282. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, House Bill 1282 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Donovan, Hawkes Lewis, Winter, Rankin, Fields, Kolker, Gonzalez, Buckner, Pedersen, Janal, Hanson, Scott, Story, Rodriguez. Please add the president.
Pulled it off, I can say.
Yes.
Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1083?
House Bill 1083, Representatives Tipper and Rich, Senator Winter and Simpson, concerning the creation of the Colorado Homeless Contribution Income Tax Credit and connection therewith, making an appropriation.
Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of 1083 on third reading and final passage and request permission for a third reading amendment.
Senator Winter, will you explain the need for an amendment?
We need an amendment to change the timeline.
Seems appropriate.
Now we're
The motion
Shorten the timeline.
before the body. Motion before the body is to allow permission to offer a third reading amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
Yeah.
Unclear,
It's unclear.
but the motion or the permission is granted. Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is a specific person in this building that prefers 4 years, and so we'll go with 4 years.
Senator Winter, will you move the amendment?
Yes, I move L009. No.
There is an amendment at the desk. Will the clerk please read L009?
Amendment L009 by Senator Winter, amend revised bill page.
Senator Winter, now would be the time.
I move L009.
To the amendment.
As I said, there's a specific person that prefers 4 years to 5 years, so we want this amendment to pass.
No.
The motion is for the passage of L009. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and L009 is adopted. To the This is fun. Members, apologies. This is messy.
It's a crazy day.
This, I apologize, but that I did take that vote as if it was not recorded, but it is a recorded vote. The motion is for the passage of L009. Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. And colleagues, vote however you will on this amendment. I'm not going to, but the reality is I just want to explain that currently we are in Tabor refund years, and we are projected to be for the next 3 at least. The reality is that if you consider that we're in Tabor refund years, it doesn't have an impact on the general fund to reduce the amount of revenue that the state receives. That's not always going to be the case. It is possible that after these 3 years, we do return to a time where the Tabor limit exceeds what it is now. And then if that is the case, then these tax expenditures do start to pool from the general fund, which pulls from higher education, K through 12 education, all the different things that we care about in the general fund. So just keep that in mind with some of these tax expenditures. For the next 3 years, we will be, it is almost assured, we'll be in a Tabor refund year, but beyond that, it is much less uncertain.
Senator Winter.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a tax expenditure that's been in existence, and we are renewing it. It's been in existence for enterprise zones. We are expanding it to be statewide out of enterprise zones. So this has been a current tax expenditure. We're expanding it slightly, so we've already had this impact in previous years.
Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I look at the scenario under which we maybe wouldn't have Tabor refunds, it seems that it would be the kind of economic scenario that would make these particular tax credits even more important. I know that there are some folks outside the glass that maybe doubt my commitment to actually solving these problems, but we have to make sure that the least among us are taken care of. This is one of the most impactful ways we can do it. Sure, this year we've got some money from the feds. We're spending $600 million total this year on addressing affordable housing and homelessness. This bill ensures that in future years, we are going to be able to bring in private dollar investments to nonprofit organizations that are on the ground solving these problems across our state. The Capitol is in an enterprise zone. The church across the street is not. You donate to a nonprofit serving this area, the Capitol, you get the tax write-off right now. With this bill, you can donate across the street and get it as well. I don't think the challenges that our communities face at the Capitol are significantly different than the challenges faced across the street. This is a fantastic bill. This is a fantastic tax credit that needs to stay in law as long as possible. I am a no on this amendment.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's one person in this building who wants this amendment. That's fine. He gets a vote. It's not today.
The motion is for the adoption of L009 to House Bill 1083. Are there any no votes? Senators Rankin, Bridges, Donovan, Gonzalez, Kolker, Kirkmeyer, Woodward, Smallwood, Henriksen, Sonnenberg, Gardner, Cook, Minority Leader Holbert, Lee, Buckner, Lundin, not Lundin, Janal, Pedersen, Story, Scott, Priola,
No, I'm gonna.
Are there any other no votes? Hanson, Rodriguez. Just so folks know, this is a no vote on L009, just to clarify. With a vote of 11 ayes, 23 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, that amendment is lost. Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request a senatorial 5.
Senate will stand in a senatorial 5. Will the clerk please add Senator Zenzinger to the roll? Senator Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. President. Having voted on the prevailing side, I move to reconsider the vote on Amendment L009.
The motion is for the reconsideration of L009. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The motion is adopted and reconsideration is granted.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to
Will the clerk please read the title, or will the clerk please read L009?
L009 by Senator Winder, amend revised bill, page 6, line 17.
Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move L009.
To the amendment.
This is an amendment to change the end period of this program by 1 year, from 28 to 27.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is for the adoption of L009 to House Bill 1083. Are there any no votes? Senators Sonnenberg, Smallwood, Kirkmeyer, Woodward, Cook, Liston, Gardner, Minority Leader Holbert, Lundin, Priola, Donovan, Gonzalez, Rodriguez, Henriksen, Scott, with a vote of 20 ayes, 15 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, that amendment is adopted. To the bill, Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1083 as amended on third and final reading and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1083. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1083 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Bridges, Donovan, Hansen, Woodward, Kolker, Danielson, Story, Heisey, Jaquez Lewis, Majority Leader Moreno.
I'm going to lay both of them over so we don't even need to. Oh.
I was talking to staff minister.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wait, so you were supposed to be a no? Okay, but you weren't on the prevailing side, so I'll reconsider.
What is this? Because I was out of the room.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yep. He needs to reconsider 1243. Yep.
Senator Lundin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Because I was voting and did vote on the prevailing side, I am eligible to move for the semi-immediate reconsideration of House Bill 1243, and I do.
The motion is for the reconsideration of House Bill 1243. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion is adopted and reconsideration is granted. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1243?
House Bill 1243, Representatives Exum and Van Winkle, Senators Kolker and Henriksen, concerning programs that provide funding to improve school safety and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Senator Henriksen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1243 on third read and final passage again.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is for the passage of House Bill 1243. Are there any no votes? Senators Lundin, Liston, with a vote of 33 ayes, 2 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1243 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Cook, Gonzalez, Members, if you co-sponsored last time, you do not need to do it again.
I don't think she was here for it, though, so you'll want to have her.
Yep. Senator Zenzinger will be added as a co-sponsor to House Bill 1243.
Thank you.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the sponsor's request, I move to lay over Senate Bill 221 to May 12th.
The motion is to lay over Senate Bill 221 to May 12th. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Crickets. The ayes have it, and Senate Bill 221 will be laid over until May 12th. Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over House Bill 1317 to Monday, May 2nd.
The motion is to lay over House Bill 1317 to Monday, May 2nd. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and House Bill 1317 will be laid over until Monday. Signing of bills.
April 28, 2022, the President has signed House Bill 1025, 1139, 1202, and 1231.
Announcements. Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, just to give you an idea of the schedule for the rest of today, we here shortly will be recessing as the Senate, and that will allow for the Finance Committee to meet upon adjournment and conclude their business in the old Supreme Court. After that point, upon adjournment of the Finance Committee, we will have a call of the Senate, and we will return to consider a special orders calendar that consists of many of the bills that passed out of appropriations this morning.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. And while we're doing announcements, I don't know if you can smell that, but today is Concrete Day at the Capitol, and no, it's not me not taking a shower. It has to do with the barbecue outside. It's Concrete Day at the Capitol. Oh my, I apologize, Mr. President. It's Concrete Day at the Capitol. Take a moment to go outside and grab a barbecue. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, 15 minutes upon adjournment, the Senate Finance Committee will be meeting in the old Supreme Court. We have a number of bills under consideration. We will be listening to Senate Bill 210, 225, 234, 233, 1359, and House Bill 1137. In that order, we will see you promptly, and we will be beginning our work in a very diligent and efficient manner.
Majority Leader Moreno. Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate recess until upon adjournment of the Finance Committee.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Senate will stand in recess until upon adjournment of the Finance Committee.